A vice president for a Cincinnati firm convicted on federal charges for creating a shell company to get minority contracts is sentenced today.
Jim Bailey was convicted for his part in a scheme at Evans Landscaping to obtain millions of dollars in minority contracts. Local 12's David Winter was in the courtroom when Bailey learned his fate. How did it go down, David?
Well, it's actually very interesting to hear all that went down today in court. Court did let out just a short while ago. Jim Bailey was flanked by many of his supporters as he left the building. He did receive 36 months probation. 6 months of that will be served with an ankle monitor, $20,000 in fines, and 200 hours of community service. He is the last one to be tried in a case that goes back to 2015 when federal agents raided the company. When the feds moved in, they confiscated evidence that would eventually be used to convict 6 employees for obtaining millions of dollars in minority contracts for Ergon Construction. Ergon is gone, but its Dunn and Bradstreet page still exists and lists Korey Jordan as its contact. The feds say Jordan, an African-American, was a figurehead for the shell company set up by Evans. In fact, prosecutors allege the reason for the name Ergon is because it's an anagram for Negro. Ergon is also the Greek word for work. Prosecutors say Bailey was part of the scheme, helping run Ergon, using Ergon magnets to cover Evans logos on trucks, and ordering Ergon uniforms for Evans employees to wear. His boss, Doug Evans, on Tuesday got 21 months in prison, 36 months probation, and $50,000 in fines. He is appealing. The company has to pay $500,000. And now Cincinnati City Council member Tamaya Denard is introducing an ordinance that would ban companies convicted of trying to obtain contracts they don't deserve from ever doing business with Cincinnati again.
It's an issue of entitlement, it's an issue of greed, and it's an issue of privilege. And yeah, I am going for the jugular. They need to be permanently debarred from doing business with the city of Cincinnati.
This is the last criminal proceeding we're aware of involving Evans Landscaping or any of its employees, but it may not be the last you hear of the case because Doug Evans has indicated that he plans to appeal his conviction. At the federal courthouse downtown, David Winter, back to you in the studio.
David, thank you. 15 of the $20,000 in fines and 200 hours of community service will have to go to nonprofits designated to help minority businesses.